Welcome back to Fitness Manifesto. I am one of your hosts, Kim, and joining me is
Justin. Welcome to this new show that we've started, which focuses on life, awesomeness, and friendship, and fitness as a whole. Welcome, audience. How is everybody today?
I'm looking around waiting for the audience to respond. I'm doing great, Justin. How are you?
Pretty good. I got to tell you, I'm getting really excited about Thanksgiving. My mom is coming out, and for those that don't know, we are going to do a special follow-up to our original episode with my mom next week.
I can't wait for her to be here. I have something for her.
Just so you are aware, I have not told her anything. She knows nothing. I didn't forward the picture. I didn't do anything, and she's going to love it.
Good. I got to show you up.
Well, it's not hard to do. Trust me.
No.
With me as a son, it's pretty easy to set. When the bar's that low, you can only go up.
Well, I don't think you give yourself enough credit.
Well, thank you. So my brother, to start this off, since we're already talking about family here, I want to talk about tattoos and let you guys know that you got to be very careful when you get a tattoo, because my brother has spent an ungodly sum of money and he has wanted a tattoo since we were kids. And he's turning 40 this year, got a tattoo. And I think this is his second session he got done out of like 6 or 8. And his tattoo's looking great. However, the back is a giant kraken that's like, it's his whole left side of his body, like the whole left side. And my daughter saw it the first time and goes, "Why does he have a butthole on his back?" Now I can't stop seeing. I can't not see it now. So,
okay, wait. This is his first and only tattoo?
Yes, his only tattoo ever. His first tattoo, it goes all the way down his left arm, all the way down his left side. I mean, it is so massive. It is insane. It looks great, but it's insane.
Why? Is that like a midlife crisis thing?
He's actually always, since we were kids, like no joke, I've always wanted a hammerhead shark, and he's always wanted, he changed what he wanted over time.
He's always wanted a butt on his back?
A second butt. I think what he was looking for is I think if you were born without a butt, there's always a problem. But I'm terrified to tell him, and I know he listens to this show, so I can't wait for this episode to come out. He's like, "Doesn't look like a butt," but he has agreed to be on this show, and he can dispute
Has he really?
Yeah, he did.
I will tell you, that was my idea.
100%. I didn't even think of it.
I take full credit for that. You were talking about tattoos and being very careful on what you get. Do you have any tattoos?
I don't. I want one so bad, but Kelly thinks they're repulsive. So I'm on the outside.
What do you want?
I designed, this is going to sound probably kind of funny, but when I was in 6th grade, I loved drawing and artistry. And so my favorite shark and my favorite animal is a hammerhead shark. So I drew this really cool hammerhead shark, but the tail's curling around. It looks like a J. So like the hammerhead's the top of the J and the tail curves around. I thought it'd be perfect on my left side of my shoulder, but that's a fat no.
You are that person. Yep.
Hang on. Since we're talking tattoos today, what is that person in your mind? I want to hear this.
Well, you're like, it has a J, the tail bends down and it's a J. So of course you'd have to put like your initial on your body, right?
In case I forgot who I was. Yeah.
Because we do that very often.
Hang on. So you're obviously relegating me to like the bottom rung of tattoo people. So in your mind.
Oh my gosh. No, I'm not.
Because you don't have a tattoo, right?
Oh my gosh, no.
Okay. But your husband used to. So when he got tattoos, did they have like a theme or anything, or what was his take on it?
His half sleeve that was on the one arm was a Viking, and him and our brother-in-law got them done at the Sturgis Rally up in South Dakota.
Oh, serious? For the Harley Davidson one?
Yep, the motorcycle rally. Yep, they both, and actually my brother-in-law's is all on his shoulder. He's got the half sleeve coming down off of his shoulder, and it's a Viking. And then he had one on his upper stomach, maybe above your belly button.
Oh, okay.
And it was the Santa Cruz symbol, but it was the Santa Cruz symbol upside down, and I believe backwards, because the person who did it, I think they were high, or because Ted, he used to be a big skateboarder.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
I think, but that is so important though, right? Because I know several people. In fact, one of my next door neighbors got a tattoo when he was like 18. That was one of his very first things he ever did. And he went, and he's Filipino, but he got a Chinese symbol. And the Chinese symbol was supposed to mean like strength or unity or something. And it's not like at all appropriate, like at all. He got it removed, but because he's dark skinned, like you can still say it's
right.
Still there. Trying to cover it up now.
Well, and Ted also had one on his forearm on his other hand. And I don't even remember what that was, but he's had them all removed. And he said that if he knew how bad they hurt to get them removed, he wouldn't have gotten them in the first place.
Ted's unreal. Like you can't, I've never seen anyone that you can't really tell that there was tattoos there. When you said he had a full sleeve, I mean, I've seen this guy tons. You cannot tell he had them. I've never seen anything like it. No, and it's weird.
It was black ink. It was crazy. We showed Justin a picture of it prior, And it blew him away.
Absolutely. And especially because he's kind of ginger too, because he's got lighter skin and he's got freckles, all that kind of stuff. And so any dermatologist out there that listens to us, and we know we have a lot, that is supposedly one of the hardest tones to get right to when you're removing stuff because it's so complicated. Whoever, the dermatologist, plastic surgeon, whoever did it, did like massive credit to them. It looks unreal.
Yes. He said it hurt like hell. He actually didn't even complete it. He was supposed to go back for a couple more sessions. And when we had gotten it, it was for full removal as many times as it took. And he was supposed to go back for a couple more. And he goes, I can't do it because it was that painful. Jesus. And it only takes a couple minutes and then it's done. But he's like, nope.
I'm going to ask you because I'm going to lead the conversation here for a second because I'm dying to hear yours. All right. So in my lifetime, I've seen, like you, probably thousands and thousands of tattoos. Two of my absolute favorites. I'm going to start with one and I'm going to pass it to you. One of my absolute favorites was I was on a train from Cairo to Luxor in Egypt. And we met these two Australian girls. I was with a buddy of mine. We're sitting at the bar. It's 2 a.m. or something. It's super late and everyone's asleep. And we start talking about tattoos. And she goes, do you want to see mine? And I'm like, sure, why not? She pulls down her pants. Totally. I mean, this was very unexpected. Pulls it down and has like a little landing strip, and she has a lawnmower cut out going through it. And so there's actually a lawnmower on the end, and she's cut a little trail going through it like this. It was the most crazy.
Like on her pubic hair?
Yes, she'd shaved a landing strip, and it was just it went through like this. For those that can't see, it looks like a snake. And then at the end, like right above her stuff, it was a lawnmower.
Interesting. Why? What was the history behind it?
I don't really remember. I just thought she was really hot. I don't remember the why she did that, but I just remember to this day that image is so burned in my brain. I can't not see it now. Every time I think of it, it was hilarious. And listening to her say, gotta, like, check it out, mate, and going in the middle of Egypt, all of it together was like perfect. It was so weird. What's like one of your favorite crazy, weird tattoos you've ever seen on anybody?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Nothing. I'll tell you the tattoo that I wanted to get once upon a time was it a dandelion? And that like when you blew on it, it was the ravens that flew away. It was just, I loved it, but no. Like needles are not my thing. And I know everybody's like, it's annoying. No.
First of all, that sounds really amazing. But I'll tell you, so I didn't know this about tattoos. And I don't know if it's changed since Ted's got them, but like, because the last time I've seen someone get a tattoo, you get it and then they put like a plastic like sheathing over it, to like help it heal. They don't even do that anymore. It's so even right after, it looks like it's a done tattoo. After 4 hours of it, it's so incredible. Like there's no bandage. He said he never got a bandage or anything on it. And it's his entire back.
I can't believe it's his first tattoo and
That's what I said.
He's like, go big or go home, right?
So the second tattoo that I ever saw that has been like burned in my brain. This was, again, I don't know what it has to do with overseas, but I was in school in London. We were at a pub and we took these two girls home, and it was so funny because she's like, do you want to see my tattoo? This is before, by the way, the Australian. So I should have figured this later, but
all these girls want to show you their tattoos.
Well, we were already on the way. So,
Three sheets to the wind.
Exactly. She pulls it down and shows me her butt, and she's got like 2 stop signs above her butt cheeks. And then there's like this little tail thing coming out of her butt, like the top of her butt. And she goes, spread the cheeks and I'll show you where it goes. I'm like, what? At least spread them. And there's like a snake going into her butt. And I was like, it's a full, like it was an elaborate, like a rattlesnake kind of thing. I mean, it wasn't just like a couple of lines. This was a very elaborate thing going all the way to her backside. And I got to tell you, that was not only a turn off. I, to this day, am so scarred by that image. It's not good.
Okay. So what do you think that tattoo artist was like when she was like, this is what I want?
I'm sure he was dying. If he's anything like me, he's like, yes, I can do that, because it's so insane. I don't know. Like, I also had millions of questions. Like, what if you fart when you're doing it? Like, I mean, what if there's like a lot of questions I have?
And also gross.
It's all gross. I'm not saying it's not gross. How would you handle it? If someone came to you and you were the tattoo artist, what do you think you'd be like?
Yeah.
Pretty bad, right?
Yeah, gross. Like, I don't think I could do it.
I don't know if I could do it, but I would definitely find someone too, because it's so, and also I'd be questioning, like, what happened to you as a child? Like, what was your childhood like that you needed to have a snake come out of your butt?
Oh, that's true. Like, why?
Yeah.
There has to be a backstory. Like, what made you want that?
I don't know. If there are any psychiatrists or psychologists listening to this, please comment as to what drives people to get a snake tattoo come out of their butt. Just hypothetically, there's got to be some sort of trauma. Like you don't just wake up one day, you're like, you know what? I need a butt tattoo.
No,
And not just a butt. I need it in the crack, which I can't imagine how painful that was.
Or like nothing happened and they're like, yeah, this would be awesome. But
I'm so
also,
disturbed by that.
how funny would it be if this person back in the day who showed you this listens to this and reaches out to you? Oh my gosh, that would be perfect.
Kim, you're such a genius, and I don't think I say that enough. So you are a true genius, because I can't believe I didn't think of it. Like, that is, I'm so jealous, because that is a perfect. The best part is, like, does it still look the same? Did you try to get it removed?
Why? There's a backstory behind this. You know,
Literally, and she had a backstory to her backstory.
Exactly. I want to know if she is listening and reaches out to you. We have questions.
Absolutely. So we used to go to a church over here. It's a Catholic church right down the street. The priest gave a sermon because during confession, someone had announced they felt, and of course, you don't know who this is. It's like a huge congregation, right? So there's, I don't know, probably 1,000 people there. He gave this whole sermon on desecrating your body with religious symbols. And he basically went down the thing of saying, look, it's appropriate to get a cross. It's appropriate to get all these kind of things. But if you're putting them on certain parts of your body, it may not be as appropriate. And I was like, I want to know, like, you were asking why and where, like, how did this come up? Like, what did you see that you were like, I need to tell someone about this? Like, who confessed to you? And what was it? Was it like a cross in the wrong position? Was it the cross doing something? I mean, I that's where I have questions.
That's really weird that he would come out and say that.
It was a whole sermon. It was a entire, I don't know, 15, 20-minute sermon on the sacredness of your body and not to desecrate it with, if you're going to put religious symbols on, do it appropriately and don't desecrate them. And so the whole time I'm thinking of, well, what can you do to desecrate like your body? Like,
wow.
Yeah.
How did that come up during confession?
Again, I'm dying to know. These like you, these are the questions that I have.
You have questions.
I have a lot of questions.
I want to know, like, what made him want to preach a sermon about that? Interesting. How long ago was that?
Probably 4 years, something like that.
Well, my hair used to be bleach blonde.
Okay, so you didn't go the tattoo route, but you went the rebellious blonde hair. Now, why did you not keep it blonde?
It's a lot of upkeep. Well, okay. I did bleach blonde when we lived overseas. And before, I was a big soccer player. And before we would travel for soccer, we would bleach it. And then I let it grow out. And then I put highlights, lots of blonde highlights in. I just was over it. So then I colored my hair purple, and I've done red. I've even done black. One night we were drinking wine and went and got a box of black hair dye and dyed it black.
Was it a good look? I'm mixed on this one. I'm not sure, because I think you're more of a lighter girl. Please do.
Well, this is dark. I think my hair is dark.
Well, but I'm saying that's as dark as I would go. Like, yeah, because I can't see you with super like jet black hair. It's like me. I cannot see myself with jet. I think I look like, what's that movie with the vampires? Crap.
It's like Twilight?
Twilight. Thank you. Yes, I think I look like the guy from Twilight with his like pale skin already and black hair. I'm fairly certain people would think I'm a vampire. Yeah. So I want to go back to one last funny story about tattoos, because this is one of my favorite stories ever. And I want you all to, the safety message we are giving to everyone is really think about what you're going to put on your body. Because it's great if you want to do it, but just really think about it. Don't do it on a whim. I had a buddy of mine, and this is probably early 2000s, maybe late 90s. He wanted to get a snake tattoo. So it was going to be a snake tattoo wrapped around his arm. He was dating the girl that was doing the tattoo.
Oh,
yeah. So this is what happened. So she did the outline of the tattoo, and he's like, "Oh, this looks great. I love where you're going." They end up breaking up.
I knew that was coming.
Of course. Come on. This is like dating a stripper. It never lasts. So she filled in the snake skin. It was supposed to have a message in it. I can't remember what it was, but she filled it in with like, "I hate you. You're a tool." It was all these things wrapped around. Back then, they didn't have clear bandages. They had the gauze. And so he puts the gauze on it, and we take it off. I don't know, 2 days later. It was a while. takes it off and he's looking in the mirror. He's like, man, this looks fantastic. She did such a good job. And I'm like, let me see it. I start reading it to him and he's like, ah.
He had her do it after they broke up?
Well, they were dating when it started, but something happened. I think it was like a 2 week in between. He went between visits, right? And so something happened and they broke up.
So then he kept going back to her to do it?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's like, he deserves that then.
I'm not sure he deserves it. It wasn't smart.
No.
I love Kim. All right. So why you think he deserves it for being an idiot?
Yes. Why would you? I don't understand. Why would you go back to that person and be like, hey, you need to finish this tattoo? Clearly they broke up for a reason. And she's like, oh, I got this. I got this good.
See, Kim, this is why I think you need to be a tattoo, or like you should call yourself Revenge, the tattoo artist, because I would love for you to like only deal with problem like you did what to her? Okay, come here. Let's talk. I got a great tattoo for you. It's going to be right in your back. Here's the design and then sub it out for something. I think that would be fantastic.
He clearly was not thinking. Kudos to her for being like, I got you. You remember all those things that you did? Those were going through her mind.
She's not a bad person for doing it. I just think that there's other ways to handle the anger, but maybe it was very cathartic because I don't know.
Did he have to pay for it?
Oh yeah. So like the first, but she gave him like a steep discount. I want to say like the whole thing was like originally $700 and he had to pay like $200, I think, something like that.
Ooh, that's pretty steep.
I'm not saying, yeah. I mean, my brother's he can talk to that. I don't know how much it was, but it is, and he's still going back. It is insane.
I can't wait to see pictures.
Well, I'll show you right after this, but I mean, my kid, the first thing Bailey said, why did Uncle get a butthole on his back? I never saw it before, but now, like when someone says something, then you can't stop seeing that thing.
And then that's all you see?
That's all, not only is that all I see, you'll see it. It's so pronounced in his back. You can't, now that I've outed this, I'm very proud of you for doing this. I'm glad you're doing your thing, but I got to tell you, don't be mad at me. Be mad at Bailey.
Now you know what Justin sees every time he looks at you.
Giant butthole. I got to tell you, Blake is going to have the most fun editing this episode. She's going to be like, oh God.
Justin, we did not talk about fitness at all.
Well, but I think part of this is like making good decisions. Part of fitness is making good decisions. And so if you are thinking about putting anything on your body, I think it's just wise to have good counsel, be of sound mind. Don't do it when you're drunk.
Don't let your ex do it.
That's you nailed it. See, number 4 is maybe we should move that to number 1. Don't have an ex do a tattoo. I don't care how good of a relationship you have.
But I will tell you on a fitness level, Justin, I have not worked out all week.
Well, honestly, Kim, it shows.
Ooh.
I'm kidding. Kim, you have been pushing yourself so hard for so long. You should take a few, honestly, I would, when I'm going through huge things, like training for the marathon, that kind of stuff, right? I will take, after this, weeks off of doing this stuff. I'll go to walking. Yeah, that's my point. So if you were ever questioning if you need a day off, the answer is no. And your body's telling you something. You have no regret. This is the first time I've seen you in months say, I haven't worked out without a single glint or gleam of guilt. You see all those G's I put together? High five, Justin.
Yeah, you nailed that. No, I've got no guilt at all. I have been crazy busy. We are decorating our church for Christmas. I got to do this because if you force yourself to do something, then you're gonna drive it away. So don't guilt yourself.
Absolutely. And I think that is, in terms of, since we got to bring it back to fitness, which I love, because I think tattoos are a part of fitness, especially in today's world.
Yes. Yeah. And when you get your first tattoo, I want to be there to watch it.
I still want one.
Kel just walked in. Kel, can Justin get a tattoo? Yeah, she says no.
I heard that from in here. Okay. I told you that's a resounding no.
You knew that answer before I even
Hang on. Tell Kelly to come to the microphone for a second.
Hey, Kelly, Justin wants you to come to the microphone. Check you out. No, right. You can come right here. She's wearing velvet leggings too. They look very comfortable. She's rocking it today.
Tell them was it you or Bailey that said your makeup looks great?
She does look great.
This tattoo look like a butthole.
That was me. It has a butthole on it.
See, that's yes. So we're gonna.
The mouth looks like a butthole.
See, oh my God, I can't wait to see this picture.
We did a whole episode on tattoos and why you need to be very careful when you do
choices.
All right. Well, this is Kelly. This is the infamous Kelly you hear all about. We're going to do a couples podcast. Don't worry. So Kim, as always, thank you. What a great episode.
Thank you, Justin.
And to our audience, thank you guys. Can't wait to see you again. And more importantly,
it's okay to make the decision that is best for you.
Absolutely. At all times. And listen to your body.
Yes. Listen to your body. Don't do peer pressure because it's not worth it in the end. Thank you guys for listening today.
And no drunk tattoos.
No, never. Or with exes.
And that concludes today's episode of the Fitness
Manifesto. I know you guys enjoyed it.
And Kim, I want to say thank you to you and to our audience for making this podcast what it is.
Yes, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys.
And stay tuned for the next episode.